What's a VIP? A VIP is a long-term member of our community who does not have a sub at the time. And the VIPs list constantly moves around. And it's basically a way for me to know who to give a sub to. I like to give subs to people.
Everything's spinning.
So that's what we do there. Okay, so actually, before we do any of these, let's do all the drinklings we can do. Let's go to the closest cab, which is right down here. Story recap? A lot has happened in the last couple chapters. A lot. Basically, we met our dad. Our dad died. He got shot. He was found in the bay. We are currently figuring out like what the hell we're gonna do. Right before all of this tomfoolery happened with our dad, which we'd also found out that the Tojo clan and the Omi alliance are dissolving. When we found out that both Daigo, basically everyone's still alive. Daigo, Saejima, Majima, Kiryu even made an appearance. But yeah, it's been real. Detronikov says, not sure what to say, so short and sweet. Thank you, Cohh, with the 13-month Prime sub. Thank you, man. All right, so we've got, looks like 2 to do? 2 to do. All right, let's start with our buddy, Jungi Hong. Jungi Han?
Yo!
Happy 80, I'll talk about that in a minute.
Timing, Kasuga-san.
Han, it is Han. Okay.
There's something I must tell you.
Huh?
Go on.
I believe I mentioned that a group was looking for me in and around Ijincho, and that the Komijo were looking into their motives and identities.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. You learn anything new?
Yes. It seems they've disappeared from Ijincho. They've avoided the Komijo's nets at every turn.
Wait, no, hold up. We can't just let him off that easy, right? Don't you want to know who they are?
It's a wonder you're still alive, considering how reckless you are, Kasuga-san. Not that I'm against it.
Huh?
I said nothing about taking it easy. It's possible that the group in question has left the city, and I imagine it's because they found their target.
Their target?
What I mean is, I believe my enemies have already ascertained my location and are waiting for the opportune moment to strike.
Good morning, Casper.
Huh.
If that's the case, then they're quite skilled. They've managed to elude the Komijo's eyes this whole time.
But that's bad news, right?
Yes. And for you and everyone else around me, we could fall right into their hands at any moment.
Okay, but that's only if we sit around and wait, right?
What?
No point in being such a stranger. We'll lend you a hand. Let's find these creeps together. Hit them before they hit us. You feel me?
The Komijo have been looking into their whereabouts. Even so, they've proven quite difficult to find.
Hey, Rebellion.
Finding them on our own won't be easy.
So you really think they're Jingang Mafia remnants? You were saying something about that last time, right? That they might be after you because you're using your old boss's name?
Yes, I have no reason to deny that given the circumstances.
Then why not drop the Jungi Han thing and go back to being Youngsu Kim? I'm guessing there's some reason you can't do that. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
No, there's nothing preventing me from doing so. I simply wish to continue being Jungi-han.
Oh.
Even if it means being hunted down?
I don't wish to get you or the others involved in the Jingon Mafia's troubles. But it appears to be too late, so I may be troubling you already. Everyone should be on their guard. My pursuers could attack at any time.
You forget who you're talking to or something?
I'm sorry?
We've tangled with both the Ijing 3 and the Omi Alliance guys. We couldn't let our guards down even if we wanted to. Adding the Jingon Mafia to that list ain't gonna make us any less ready.
Interesting. It seems our little party is much tougher than I expected. Then I'm amongst reliable friends. Maybe I am allowed to trouble you after all.
Damn right.
So what now?
We're level
Did we
3
toast to our
drinklings,
new
bro.
friendship yet?
No, I won't be getting
Almost.
that close. It would be out of character for Jungi-han.
Keep putting yourself on a pedestal like that and we'll start leaving you out.
Love it. Awesome. Okay, we've unlocked his next level. Fantastic. Drinklings 4 now. Ooh. You can now be a musician and a chef. Cool. All right, now let's do our buddy Zhao. Valika! Love watching the streams. Gonna sit this one out though, playing my own way through Yakuza after seeing you play. Now I catch up and watch your reactions on YouTube. Good vibes from Valika with the $50 tip, my dude. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Also, Suzuka with that 5 bomb this morning. Thank you, Suzuka. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Kasuga-kun. I've already got a good buzz going.
Oh yeah? Nice. Could use one of those myself. Mind if I join you?
Sure. I was getting kind of bored drinking by myself.
So, what are the Yokohama Ryumon guys up to now? Any of them ever swing by your place?
Nah, I don't see him too much. And the ones who sided with Mabuchi seem pretty hesitant to get anywhere near me.
Sounds about right. I mean, they did stage a full-on mutiny and shit. Do you ever wonder why they sided with Mabuchi instead of you?
Not really. But if I know those guys as well as I think, I'd say it was because Mabuchi was easy to understand.
Easy to understand? How you figure?
His goals were crystal clear. Everything for money and power. If rules had to be broken or blood had to be spilled, so be it.
So, in Mabuchi's world, as long as you had balls and muscle, you could work your way to the top.
Even if you stepped on your boys to get there. Long as you swore loyalty to Mabuchi.
Damn, that could get messed up fast. And I thought I heard somewhere that Mabuchi was actually pretty smart. That true?
Oh yeah. He spoke multiple languages, ran numbers better than a calculator, and most important of all, he was just fine with breaking kneecaps. He was born for the underworld. If he'd been Tojo, I bet he would have gone even farther than you.
Hey, Chaos, let me finish this real quick and I'll answer your question.
But I guess it was fate, me getting locked up like that.
Right, sorry. I shouldn't be dredging shit like that up anyway, Kasuga-kun.
I ain't trying to make you feel guilty. No need to apologize.
Gotcha. Anyway, what I wanted to say was that the younger Mabuchi had some talent. Yeah. I even went as far as asking Mabuchi to be my right-hand man because of it.
Huh? You mean you're the guy that gave him all that power?
Oh yeah. I guess I am.
Come on, man, that's not something to laugh about.
Nah, you see, Mabuchi was just that special of a guy back then. He wasn't the type to just chill on the sidelines. Guy won me over too.
How exactly?
When Mabuchi was younger, he just had this, I don't know, I guess you'd call it aspiration. He was going straight to the top, and he had the talent to get there too. He had something I didn't. It's probably why I was so drawn to him. Just like you, Kasuga-kun. Now that I think about it, you two were pretty alike.
Come on, don't say that. Not when Mabuchi became such a scumbag.
Right?
How'd that happen anyway?
Thinking about it now, I imagine it had something to do with him being promoted to officer. From that moment on, he would challenge me right out in the open. Didn't matter that we were roughly the same age and I outranked him. He probably didn't like that I was born into the top spots, nor that I kept up the weak cooperation policy.
Hey, Joku.
Mabuchi was pretty goddamn assertive. As far as I know, I was nothing but a thorn in his side.
Well, then, sounds like you should have known he'd betray you eventually.
Nah, I probably would have trusted him no matter what he said. But I know my old man and his boys didn't think too highly of him. They said he'd betray us for sure, so it would be better to get rid of him sooner rather than later. They were pretty quick to try and make him disappear.
So what'd you do?
I fought back. I probably mentioned this earlier, but I think it's really dumb when people kill the guys in their own inner circles. And this was during a time when responsibility was starting to fall to me and Mabuchi instead of the old boys. Stomping out Mabuchi was like stomping out our future. So I stood up to them. The elders were pretty tough to persuade. That's the first and only time in my life I'd grovel like that.
You did all that for Mabuchi?
Wow.
I go through that for a guy who hates you.
True, Mabuchi was a fucking weirdo, and at times an evil son of a bitch. He wasn't likable either. But he had a passion I didn't have. He had talent, and above everything else, I thought of him as my brother. You can see why I don't want him dead.
You're right.
Damn.
Sorry, I was out of line.
I'm getting used to you doing that. Don't worry about it.
Good thing you get me.
Why is that?
Because talking like this is great. I see now you're a pretty passionate guy, Zhao.
Oh, me?
Yeah, stop fronting so much already. You're always pulling that shit. That's why I could never figure you the hell out. Now that we're a couple drinks in, I feel like I'm finally getting to know the real Zhao. You got a lot of heart, and you care about your family. That goes a long way in my book.
It's kind of embarrassing when you say it out loud like that.
Look at you, your face is all red. What's up with that?
I'm just drunk. Let's keep knocking him back, yeah?
Sure. To Zhao-senpai, for keeping it real. Cheers!
Cheers.
Awesome. Oh man, I really like these drink links, like big time. So the main character that voices, or the main character is voiced by Kaiji Tang. Is that who the main guy is voiced by? Let me see here. I'm gonna pop this on the screen real quick, so I'm gonna answer this in just a second. Kaiji Tang. Okay. Yeah, I like have a newfound appreciation for this dude. Like I've now that I've been playing with this for so long, like I can't imagine another voice being the main character. Is this the guy? Yeah, this is a guy. Totally following this guy on Twitter. Okay, there we go. Okay, so real quick, I said I'd answer this after the question. Godfall. What do I think of Godfall? I've done 2 sponsor streams for Godfall, and I'm doing another one today. Here is my honest opinion of Godfall, and this is basically exactly what I've said during the sponsored streams. Godfall is fun to play. It's got a cool combat system, very fast paced, very tight. It's got a decent skill system as well, and it's got a whole bunch of items, which is fun, the loot part of it. It's also very pretty. However, the story is incredibly thin. The gameplay is the focus, so the story is just kind of there to set for the gameplay and stuff. Also, the missions are incredibly repetitive. So like pretty much every mission is like go through it and kill something. Like that's pretty much everything. So the variety is very low. And from what I'm hearing about the end game, which I was hoping would be really good, apparently it's just like more of that. So unless if you're really having a good time with it, then you might be able to put a bunch of hours into it. But if you're like me, where it's like fun to play, but it doesn't really have that hook, then you kind of have to consider that, for sure. So one of the reasons I'm doing the sponsor streams for it is because it is fun to play. I have fun playing it, and the reason I'm willing to keep playing it is because not only is it fun to play, but the boss fights are actually really cool. I've only done 1 so far, and I think there's 3 or 4. So I do want to check out the boss fights. But once I get to the end of the boss fights, even though the gameplay's fun, I don't know if there's going to be enough there to like keep me playing. So the next question was, is it worth full price? What I would say to that is watch the gameplay loop this afternoon at 2. If you think that you would have fun doing that, if you think you get invested and want to do the end game, then maybe it's worth full price. But only if you're the kind of person who, after watching it, would really want to get involved in that end game. If you're looking for, like, if you're kind of like me and you're just doing like a one full playthrough to check out the bosses and the world and stuff like that, you'll probably want to wait for a sale. Almost definitely. I will say that it would be a lot easier to recommend Godfall if it was like a $60 game. Or excuse me, a $30 game. I feel like it's more like a $30 game. So yeah, I would only say 60 if you like really like that kind of game and you're really planning on diving into endgame. Yeah. And again, this is all stuff that I've said during the sponsored streams. So not only have I said them during the sponsored streams, but they actually contacted me over the weekend to do another sponsored stream. So I guess they don't mind my honest opinions. So that's where we are with that. Am I talking about Paragon? No, I'm talking about a game called Godfall. Yeah, we're doing I think we're doing our last 2-hour sponsored stream today from 12 to 2. Just a couple hours. Go get some food. Chaos says, I appreciate you answering the question. Oh, it's a guy that asked it. It does look like a fun game. Just need something to keep me busy until 2077, and I appreciate your time. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, come by this afternoon if you want to like get a look at it in action. The game, I'll say it again. The gameplay is really fun. Like it's tight and it's relatively bug-free and it's pretty. Like it's a solid game. It's just not like it doesn't really have that hook. And for me personally, the games that I really recommend are games that have a hook, you know? And I just don't really feel like Godfall has that hook. At least, it doesn't for me, I should say. I know some people love Godfall, but for me, it doesn't really have that hook.
Fish in a barrel. Gotta do something about this. Out of my way!
Why are you ready?
That's because you're playing Yakuza at the same time? I mean, maybe so. What's my hook for Yakuza? Yakuza has many hooks for me. Yakuza doesn't just have one hook. Yakuza has many hooks. Unlocking and playing all the fun side mini games, which add a lot of variety. The main story is phenomenal. I love seeing the progression tracks. The gameplay for this game is exceptionally fun. I love exploring the world because it's new and interesting all the time. Yakuza has many hooks.
Be in a world of right.
Then again, Yakuza is like really my favorite.
Kick your ass. Cool. There we go.
But the real big thing about Yakuza and the kind of the definition of hook for me is the depth. This game has a huge amount of depth. And I really have a thing for games that make me feel like super immersed and, you know, gives you lots and lots of stuff to do. Like, that's one of the favorite things that I have in games. One of my favorite aspects of games. And we're gonna go down here and eat, and then we're gonna do the main story. I do. Cohh likes girthy games. Yeah. Oh, did I miss a cat back there? We'll take a look. Was yapping my face off as usual. Yap, 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 yap.
Yes, Jose.
When will I return to Witcher 3? Hopefully pretty soon.
This fried rice is so soft.
I've got a lot of
and
games I'm playing right
buttery.
now.
If you like it that much, why didn't you order the bigger size?
Must I explain this to you? Ordering small is the smart way to eat. What's better? Filling up on what first caught your eye, or getting to try a little bit of everything?
You know what? You're pretty dang smart.
Well, eat up, because the food will soon be gone.
Huh? Someone say Jungi-han?
No, close, but no cigar.
Anyway, it's too bad I can't order half portions all the time.
Well, I could make that happen for you easy. All you gotta do is take me out and give me half your plate.
Oh, that's reassuring. Then in that case, I'll make sure to leave you half the check.
Should have seen that coming.
Amazing. Shanti says, hey Cohh, do you know how to ride a bike now? I spent 20 hours learning how to do it over the weekend. but I wouldn't say I know how to ride a bike now. I'd say I know the foundations to build off and start practicing. Yeah, I feel like learning to properly ride a motorcycle is one of those like lifelong skills that you always get better at. So I certainly feel about 10 times better than I did before the class. Especially like the class taught so many things that I was just not thinking about before. Particularly about like you know, scanning for hazards and escape routes, and a ton about low maneuvering in the friction zone of the clutch. Like it was kind of wild because most of the class was focused on, not most, but I'd say like half the class probably was focused on low speed maneuvering. And I had not really been doing that at all. So I was very surprised how terrible I was at it at first. But also pleasantly surprised about how much better I was at it at the end. So, but it was great, dude. It was really good. Yeah, like I'm super glad I took the class. It really helped. I passed all the tests at the end, so yeah, it was a great experience. I had a great time and learned a huge amount. Very glad I took it. And also, by the way, if you are interested in riding a motorcycle, I cannot more emphatically recommend taking a class. I guarantee you will learn something, like important things.
This sucks.
Hey, Pimpai. All right, dudes, here we go. What bike am I getting? I have a Ninja 650 right now, but I have an Arch Method 143 on the way.
I want you to know.
Next year.
Last night, Arakawa seemed at peace.
I'm gonna
Like
focus
an
on
actor
this.
stepping off stage to thunderous applause. I think that's because he achieved his goals. He dissolved the Omi, and he got to see you again. He certainly looked like he was enjoying his Peking duck. I commented on it, actually. Can you believe this? He said he'd never had it before.
What?
He said he almost got to try it 50 years ago, but then his father was killed, and he'd never gotten around to ordering it again.
Huh?
After we finished, I said
Wow.
I'd walk him to his hotel, but he refused the offer. Said he wanted time alone to just take in the night air. I didn't push it. I just bid him a good evening and left. But if I had pushed it, he'd probably be alive right now.
Oh, don't beat yourself up, dude.
I failed him.
Oh, come on, man.
No, it's not your fault.
Good call.
Let me ask you something. Do you think it was Omi loyalists?
Yes. No doubt in my mind. It was revenge for his role in dissolving the Omi. Men who saw fit to end someone's life.
You don't think it was
over
Aoki?
such a thing.
How could Yakuza do
I think
that?
it was Aoki.
Kill a captain like him.
Kasuga. The Omi loyalists in Kanto are already attempting to form a new faction. They complain the loudest about the dissolution.
We know about this.
I
We saw that
imagine one of
cutscene.
them is the likely culprit.
Forming a new faction. After killing Arakawa's son.
Real quick, because I'm seeing a lot of questions about this in chat. The reason I think it's Aoki is the new persona of his son. And when Arakawa dissolved the Omi alliance, and in turn also Daigo dissolved the Tojo clan, that really screws up Aoki's plan. And we know from earlier that Aoki murdered his best friend and basically the guy that started Bleach Japan with him just for gain. So my thinking is that probably Aoki bumped him off, his own dad, so he could make nice with the new clan coming in, so he could then solidify his foundation of power. That's my guess. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yes. Care to hazard a guess as to who is directing them? Because I think it's the one man who could actually bring them to heel.
Oh,
Ryo Aoki.
that's what I Yeah. Okay.
No. The young master? Ordering the death of his own father?
He wouldn't be the first to commit patricide for power. The one silver lining is, with Arakawa gone, there's very few men Aoki can give direct orders to. Kasuga, you should take revenge for Arakawa. I can lend you men from the Seiryu clan.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. That's not a gun for our
don't
buddy.
need guns.
Yeah, I was going to say. He doesn't really need that.
You won't seek vengeance?
Oh, no, I will, just with my fists.
No. Arakawa-san wouldn't want me to kill the young master. I'm sure of that.
Oh.
Then what will you do?
Beat him in politics.
Before he died, Arakawa talked about how sad it was the Yakuza were getting used. Used like pawns by people in power. That's why he disbanded the Omi. I think he wanted the Yakuza to go back to their roots. Like how they ought to use their power to help the weak and vulnerable, not just take shit by force.
Ooh.
That's how it was.
That's how it could be again. Arakawa-san had a dream. And
Are
I
you
can
gonna
continue
start a
it.
family?
All I do is kill one guy, especially if it's his son. All of Arakawa's sacrifices will be for nothing. If that's the only thing I do to honor him, I won't be able to face him in the afterlife.
Oh my god.
What I really want to do is open the young master's eyes. Give him a wake-up call. Smack him upside the head if I have to. That's the best thing I could do.
That gave me goosebumps thinking about that.
Kasuga, Arakawa was truly
Rebuild the
blessed
Tojo
to have
clan?
you.
Yeah, Victo.
Do what you think is right. I'm sorry if my idea of payback offended you in any way.
I assure you it did not, Chairman.
How do you plan on getting an audience with Aoki? You can't just walk into the Tokyo government office and ask to see the governor.
It's all good. I think I've got something figured out.
You can pull a plan out of your ass just like that, huh? Still, going anywhere near Aoki will mean tight security. Take some of my men.
Nope.
At the very least,
Oh, I
they'll
mean,
bring
maybe?
your body back.
I appreciate the offer, really. But I'll be fine by myself.
Nope. I've been grinding the dungeon for like 4 hours. I've got lots of great gear. And like 5 jobs maxed.
I've already got the best crew I could ask for.
It's gonna be good. I've got this chef guy that can do wondrous things with a pressure cooker. It's amazing. Believe no.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I
jeez.
don't right now.
You waited for me?
How'd it go?
Fine. Sorry to run off and get treated to a fancy meal without you guys.
Well, looks like it put some pep back
I know,
in
right?
ya.
Yeah,
So I've got this cook, this bum, and this dealer. I'm good.
figure if I keep moping around, Arakawa-san's gonna come down and kick my ass. But anyway, how about we go visit Kume?
Visit Kume? Why?
To make him arrange a meeting. I want to meet with Aoki. And Kume's got the hookup, seeing as he's Ogasawara's replacement.
Sure, but why do you...
I'm going to get him to start thinking and doing things like Arakawa-san would have wanted.
sounds like a long shot. What makes you think Kume will cooperate with you?
Oh, did I leave out the part where we rough him up? I mean, the guy deserves it.
Hell yeah, he does. I'm in. Get out the bloodhounds and let's start the search.
No search required. Today is announcement day.
What's that?
The deadline for every candidate to submit their paperwork. The political brawl has begun.
Man, do you know everything?
The fate of the Great Wall hangs on this election. Why wouldn't I be following it closely?
Do you know where Kume would be on announcement day?
Well, each candidate will give their first speech in their district, usually on a huge stage. Kume's district, Kanagawa's second, has a massive stage by the gate on Isizaki Road.
Let's head over to Isazaki Road then.